Hello, my name is Dyer, and you are watching a Dyer-Situation. Today I'm seeing Sausage Party. It's a raunchy, animated comedy film about, barbecue food. Yeah. So when I first heard about this, the main thing I was thinking of was this film I saw on Netflix. It was To Hell and Back or something like that. It was like an animated film with like you know, all the super bad actors and stuff like that. And like this kind of thing, like, it reminds me of that. Like, it's probably going to have a bunch of, like, I don't know, dick jokes and weed and stuff. In fact, I know it's going to have dick jokes because that's all in the freaking posters. So yeah, not expecting a lot. I don't think it's going to be bad, but I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. I mean, To Hell and Back, I like parts of it, but not the whole thing. Yeah, expecting a similar experience to that. Probably going to like parts of this, but not the whole thing. So yeah, I guess we'll just have to see about that. Yeah. Let's do it. Right, so that was honestly way better than I thought it would be. I'm not even joking, like, in terms of comedic stylings, in terms of animation quality, like, this looks like it doesn't look amateurish, it doesn't look like, To Hell and Back looked like. It didn't look, it definitely didn't look like, Food Fight, which you might see some similarities in the premise with, but it's nothing like that movie. And yeah, it was just overall pretty enjoyable. Yeah, just to clarify on the Food Fight thing, it's similar in the idea that, there's a secret world in supermarkets where all the food is alive and stuff. Well, this movie takes the rated R approach to it, and it's more has to do with the philosophy of being something designed to be eaten. Like, they tell themselves stories about how wonderful things are after you leave the grocery store. Even though there's some people out there who know that you literally get, like, frickin' murdered and eaten. Like that's the whole premise behind it. I must admit, that's pretty cool. I like that. I like taking, like, a cool, like, kid's idea of just, like, oh, these things that aren't alive are alive, and they have societies and stuff. You know, real childish idea, but taking a pretty dark turn with it. You know, that's pretty cool. That's creative. I like that. And I also like the fact that they pretty clearly establish, like, bounds here, like how everything works. Like, to them, they see everyone as moving around all the time, like all the different food items, interacting and stuff. And the way people see it is just normal, like everything's still. And, you know, it creates kind of a unique boundary, just like humans see differently. And they do a pretty funny twist on that, where the only way for people to see the world as it truly is, with all the food talking and stuff, is by injecting yourself with bath salts, which I thought was pretty funny. That was pretty good. And yeah, really raunchy, really lots of crude sex humor and swearing every 5 seconds and stuff and all that. Typical Seth Rogen type humor, I'd suppose. Although I think this one is a lot cleaner. Like, probably like a lot higher scale than like Neighbors or something would be. I don't mean cleaner as in like less vulgar. I mean cleaner as in more sharp, more well presented. and just better overall. So, honestly, if you're into these types of comedies, this is a very good example of them. It's really well made. Production value is pretty high. As I said, it's creative. It's pretty funny. There's a major orgy at the end, and everything's great. Especially with that last part I mentioned, though. I bet they had a lot of fun with the MPAA doing that. This movie's rated R, by the way, but they really do push the limits of it at times. Like when the horrific violence is happening, that they I can imagine like some sort of representative of the movie was standing in the room saying, "Well, it is just food. I mean, like people tearing a cabbage's head in half, like that's just food being torn in half. Like that'd be PG, man. That's not violent." Or when they're having the orgy and stuff, it's like, "Oh no, that's not a dick going into a vagina. That's a carrot going into a bagel." It's like it's totally different. I can totally imagine them saying stuff like that, and you know, that aspect is also kind of fun. So, yeah. If you like those kinds of movies, this is a good example of them. Gets my approval. So yeah. And until next time, I'm Glenn Dyer, and you have been watching A Dire Situation.